The final preseason game for a couple of weeks. The last chance for a few of these guys to leave an impression. The stage is set here tonight. It's the Mooseheads and the Moncton Wildcats live from the RBC Center right here on the official YouTube channel of the Halifax Mooseheads. And with that, good evening, Moose Country. Thank you so much for being with us here tonight for another installment of the Mooseheads training camp presented by Good Life Fitness. My name is Gareth McDonald. Pleased to welcome in Mooseheads Media Relations and Communications Manager Scott McIntosh. And Scott, looks like for the Mooseheads we're going to see a starting lineup, starting trio up front. You guys here obviously battling for some of those last spots in this Mooseheads roster.
Absolutely. We see Justin Breton out there with Cade Moser, and as well Mathis LaPlante, who has scored in 2 consecutive games now. Those guys might be fighting with one another for a spot on this team.
Well, we are underway here in Dartmouth, and the Wildcats going to go to work early. Anthony Gage going to knock one over the front of the net. This puck will be gathered up now by Mathis LaPlante. LaPlante, a little collision there along the half wall with Cooper Cormier. Cade Moser slipping a pass over now for Justin Breton with a couple of helpers. And Wednesday night in that 3-2 win over the Cape Breton Eagles right here at the RBC Center. First win of the preseason for the Mooseheads, who fell 3-1 to Cape Breton the night before. Mooseheads will send that one down into the Moncton end of the rink, and they'll try to get some fresh legs out here. As back up ice now comes El Khoury. The puck will roll its way down to the corner. Morissette Richer giving chase after it there for Moncton, but in possession now, Mooseheads veteran Antoine Fontaine. His rookie season last year. And Hackett will bank that one off the boards. Fontaine knocking it down. He's going to play one up top right now. Shot there for McKenzie. That one will deflect wide. Alec Nazardine trying to track it down. Sent back to the line, and McKenzie will direct one toward the net. One steered aside by Moncton boys, Xavier Farah. A couple of games with the Cape Breton Eagles over the last few seasons under his belt. Most of last year in the Maritime Junior A League. Hackett deep in the Mooseheads end here. He'll take a bump along the wall there from Dominic McKenzie. And now that puck knocked past Hackett, so going to track it down here. It's Nikash. Netminder Farrell will quickly launch one up ahead that was just out of the reach of Easton Schlender, a teammate of Mooseheads' first-round pick, Danny Walters, last year with the Halifax McDonald's.
Yeah, we see Danny Walters kind of getting broken up from that line with Alec Nazardine tonight. They've been together all camp. You're going to see Walters playing alongside Kalen Blake and as well Jordan Shaw, who's been impressive here at camp as well.
Jordan Shaw, one of the free agent invites, teammate of Eddie Doyle's last year with the Kensington Wild. Pretty good season there in Kensington, and certainly brought a little energy here and some physicality as well to the Mooseheads lineup. 4 hits against Cape Breton on Wednesday as things get physical down in the Mooseheads end of the rink. Just past the 2-minute mark of this scoreless opening period. Mitchell Wagner battling down there, big body. 6'5", 200-plus pounds, and things get a little chippy now deep in the Mooseheads end.
A little battle along the boards there. Never hurts early here in the preseason. These Moncton Wildcats, as we know, expected to be an incredibly strong team this coming season. One of the favorites to win the Gilles Courteau Trophy.
Of course, for Mooseheads fans, there will be a few familiar faces on that Wildcats roster.
Yeah, it's almost going to be bittersweet to watch them succeed because, of course, we're rooting for them, but it's always tough pulling for the Wildcats, right? But Marcus Vidacek and Dylan McKinnon, 2 big names and 2 big parts of this Mooseheads team over the past number of years, dealt in the offseason over to the Cats, who are really going for it.
And new face this year behind the bench for the Moncton Wildcats. We'll get to that later. Danny Walters trying to work it up ahead there for Kalen Blake, but we'll have a whistle on that entry. So play blown dead, 17:38 left. And as we mentioned, new head coach here this year for the Mooseheads. Talked a lot about Andrew Lord the other night, but a new face behind the bench for the Moncton Wildcats as well.
Yeah, a new face to Moncton, but a face that's known very well in maritime hockey circles for so many years now. Gardner McDougall, of course, long tenure with the UNB Varsity Reds, and of course won the Memorial Cup as a quick stint as head coach of the St. John Sea Dogs as well, and he's just had success wherever he goes.
The season last year, undefeated with UNB, undefeated with Team Canada at the World U18 Championship last spring. Just an incredible year within 50 wins again. Did not fall. No losses last year for Gardner McDougall, so high expectations right there. No doubt for him with this talented group this year on the Moncton side. That went off the stick of Eddie Doyle. It's maybe Batchelder handing it off.
And very cool to see Gardner being able to team up with his son Taylor. Of course, played in the Q, played under his father at UNB as well, and was a player agent under the Alain Waugh group for a number of years. Had a lot of Mooseheads players. Actually, he was the agent for them, but now he's the GM of the Moncton Wildcats and working with his dad. It's got to be a cool moment for both of them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a little battle back here behind that Moncton net. Wildcats look to clear it out. That one knocked down by Tucker McKinnon. In his first preseason action with the Mooseheads was the last player the Mooseheads took in the 2023 draft, second last player taken in that draft. Their season with the Steel Subaru U18 team this past year for the Bedford native. Wildcats regrouping back here in their own end. Simon Mullen, free agent invite for the Wildcats. Truro boy. He's going to work that one up ahead. Netminder out to play it. Almeida slipped some contact there as McNabb busts his way up ice and just kind of had his pocket picked right there. Patrick McNabb wearing that full bubble shield here this evening after he took a little abuse the other night.
Yeah, he caught up in behind the net to puck off the stick of a Mooseheads player and was really leaking a little bit there and had to leave the game in the third period. Not long after he had scored the eventual game-winning goal, just a minute 39 into that third period. So it was an eventful evening for young Patrick McNabb, and he's had an eventful camp as well. Looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, 11th round pick back in 2023. And coming off solid season with Lac St. Louis. I know we mentioned he didn't pile up a ton of points last year with Lac St. Louis. 11 goals, 26 points in 41 games, but does play a very responsible two-way game. Very solid defensively.
Exactly. He's more than just a points guy. He's what else he brings to the table, and that's what the team likes about him.
Another one of those guys certainly in the mix right now for the Mooseheads. Just Wildcats trying to get something going down here. Dominic McKenzie breaking one up, sent it that high slot area. McKinnon not quite ready for that one, but McNabb will get it into danger now as he tries to fend off time, and he'll take a bump, works it down toward the corner. That puck will be gathered up now by Isaiah Shantz. We'll get a whistle down here in front of the Mooseheads bench. They were in the midst of a change, it appeared. Might be getting caught right there. Looks like too many men on the ice call to the Moose. Justin Breton will make his way off.
Gareth, more cuts this morning at camp. 5 more, so we're down to 40 at training camp, at Good Life Fitness Mooseheads training camp. And we saw forwards Will Carroll, 9th round pick in 2023. Declan Campbell, a free agent invite, sent home along with defenseman Colin Brodeur, Thomas Barney, and Andrew Thompson. More cuts to come tomorrow, most likely.
Yeah, we mentioned that off the top. This is those last opportunities here for some of these guys to try to make an impression. We'll expect another big round tomorrow. Wildcats looking to get something going here on their power play. 2 for 8 in the preseason of the Moncton Wildcats. Still looking for their first win, of course. The veterans haven't exactly arrived here for the Moncton Wildcats yet. This is a very young team, thus the free agency we mentioned called up. It will be a veteran-laden lineup, obviously, this year for Moncton.
They will. I'm really excited to see the pickup from Acadie Bathurst, the European Jure Pekarczyk, who, of course, they picked up from Bathurst. St. Louis Blues draft pick, played USHL last year. It sounds like he's the real deal. Going to be an exciting forward to watch.
Nice effort down there for Mathis Laplace. He was able to strip that one away from Cooper Cormier, and that'll lead up a little bit of time here in this Moncton man advantage. 56 seconds remaining on this power play for the Wildcats. Making his way up ice, Jackson Batchelder. PEI product, first player taken by the Moncton Wildcats in the last draft. They didn't have a first-round pick.
Yeah, second round, 37th overall, Charlottetown Knights product, and a right-handed shooting D, so always a hot commodity.
Carlos Handel getting physical down behind the Mooseheads net. And Mooseheads fans will be pretty excited to see what Carlos Handel can bring to the lineup this year.
I think that's the player we're all kind of interested to see in game action here this evening, and what I've seen in practice and at the inter-squad game. He's a smooth skating guy, great posture, head up, sees the ice really well. Not real physical, but just smart hockey IQ, right? He gets in the right places and can weave his way in and out of traffic.
A little bit of offensive flair as well. I think we saw that on display during the Helenka Gretzky Cup. Real nice rush. Great coast-to-coast goal for the Germans.
Yeah, and goal scoring will be very welcome on this team this year, and if he can bring a little bit of that, then all the power to him.
If you look at the lineup right now, again, there's a lot of opportunities for some guys to step up offensively, that's for sure. We'll see what Danny Walters can do right now. Busting it, pulls to the forehand, and he's stopped there as Barrow will extend that pad. Danny Walters, a guy that could be looked to produce some of that offense this year.
Exactly. The Mooseheads' 11th overall pick. They're excited to see what he can bring offensively. They know the rest of his game very well. We'll see how the rest translates to the Q. Nice save there by Farah, though.
Breton will send this back to Fletcher at the line. Lets his shot go. Some traffic in front of that one. Hit with a high stick. So we will get a little break in the action. 13:06 left here in the first period. I think, if you look at the lineup, I think the Mooseheads right now, they not exactly returning a lot of goals from last year. I think maybe 82, 85, something like that. Yeah, there will certainly be a lot of opportunities here in that top six for some guys to really be looked to take a step.
Exactly, and that's why they're going to out-hustle, outwork, and do everything they can, scratch and claw for victories this season.
A little bit of that scoring touch on display during some of the inter-squad games here from Kalen Blake, and I know we talked a lot about him the other night, the Corner Brook, Newfoundland native second-round pick of the Mooseheads, the player they took after they selected Danny Walters, but a guy that may have a little bit of first-round skill for sure.
He's got some beautiful hands.
Look at the net now, Deschênes getting physical down there. 12:35 left in this first period. No score yet. Puck will come back to the line now for Diamond. He'll hand it off. Hackett lets a shot go. That one redirected. And sprawling out to try to grab a hold of that one. Sam Madgett, he will hang on and pull a face-off down here in the Mooseheads end. We did get a little peek at Sam Madgett last year. He got called up a couple of times, did see game action against Bathurst back in December. And it's getting a little testy down here at the moment.
Yeah, Gavin Suds heading off for a penalty there at the side of the net, and he wasn't quite done with his man on the way to the box.
No, Gavin Suds, he certainly plays with an edge. There is lots of physicality that was on display last year in the Nova Scotia U18 Major League with the Halifax Max. He's definitely physical on the back end, does not shy away from some of that rough stuff, and he's going to have to go sit for two right now.
That's right. Him and Danny Walters, kind of like the Bash brothers, aren't they? And they actually were side by side yet again on the Halifax waterfront this summer, scooping ice cream at Cows. You might recognize their faces.
Boys aren't afraid to get their hands dirty.
I like a good moon mist.
I got nothing. Farah's going to slow this one down back there and leave it for Aiden Diamond. He'll chip it up that left wing side. As in transition, up ice now comes Cormier. I've been a Cooper Cormier last year for the Moncton Wildcats. A few vets here in the lineup, guys with Q experience. Gay lets a shot go, a little redirect in front. The Schlender got a stick on it. Another member of that Halifax Max program. Felt like we talked a lot about them the other night, and we'll be doing the same here this evening as well. Nova Scotia U18 Major League, well represented as usual as we get a shot from Cormier. That one sent up and over. Minute 02 left in this power play. Hackett trying to clear it out. Couldn't get that one out past Gay, who knocked it off of his stick. Now down to the corner, deep in the action at Chance. So direct it back to that left point. Cormier's there. We'll slip it across now for Gay, walking in, lets a shot go, and Madgett gets a little piece of that one, and it's out of play for a whistle with 11:07 left in the clock. And again, no score here in this first period.
A nice shot from Gay. Looked like he had the far side open there, but Madgett just takes it away at the last minute. And he had a nice outing, Madgett did in Cape Breton the other night, and the coaches were very pleased with what they saw from him. Lots of options in goal. I think they've really restocked the pipeline in terms of net minding some of these big goalies, and Madgett's one of them.
Sam Madgett stopping all 9 shots that came his way in that 3-1 loss the other night. Played half the game, split it with Olivier St. Ange, who we expect to see some of, probably midway through the second period here this evening. In transition now come the Wildcats on the attack, making his way around McKenzie. Was Now Corey, the 16-year-olds here at camp from Moncton. Matt Childer, he'll play it back up top now. Is taking a look with it was Mullen down to the corner. 13 seconds left. And this Moncton man advantage. McKenzie's going to poke it loose and just to shovel that one back of the goal. Moser battling down here for Halifax. Wildcats back in control. Those comes back to Mullen. He'll let a shot go. And that one off of his teammate, Jaguar in front. So back to five-a-side hockey right now. That penalty over. Fletcher is going to try to take it for a dash. Force that one across the Moncton blue line. Almeida knocking it down with a corner. Twisted up down there with Simon Mullen. This puck out here at neutral ice. That one chipped in by Jaguar as he took a bump from Alec Nazardine. Now Aiden Bent will guide it off the boards as Wildcats try to clear it out quickly. Wall was sealed there by Bent. Not been able to get it out though on the second effort. Jamison George takes a stab at that one. Jamison George last year called up for 3 games for the Mooseheads. Those guys in a battle for those final defense spots in this Mooseheads roster. Alec Nazardine. He's across the red line. He'll dump that one in. Nazardine, the player taken after Liam Kilfoyle last year. Some rich hockey bloodlines right there for Alec Nazardine.
Yeah, son of former NHLer Ellen Nazardine, who's been in attendance this week as well. Born in New Jersey, spent some time in Dallas as well. His dad's been all over the place in the hockey world.
Yeah, veteran of 70-plus games as a player right now. The assistant coach for the Dallas Stars. His handle shows what he's got. Nice handles on display right there. Doyle lets a shot go. That one deflecting wide.
So that's about 11 and a half minutes into the preseason that you waited to pull that one out.
Just came to me. Eddie Doyle will hand it off now for Carlos Handel. Look for Blake out at neutral ice. Couldn't quite handle that pass. Debray will send it up ahead. That one a bouncing pass Duquette. He's able to knock it in deep though. And Handel will give chase after it down there. It's loose in the corner. Shots on goal 4-1 right now in favor of the Wildcats, according to the scoreboard here at the RBC Center. Walters and gets away from him. Diamond will take it back at the Moncton goal. Puck will roll its way back down to Ward Madgen, who just leaves it at the side of the net now for Dominic McKenzie. McKenzie coming off a pretty solid performance on Wednesday night against the Cape Breton Eagles.
Yeah, I think he really stepped it up in that game. It's something that he needed to do because, in all honesty, it wasn't a great camp for him leading up to this point. He's one of those vets that is going to work to continue to keep that spot on the team. So he's showing. He showed last game that he's here to stay, hopefully.
LeBlanc will try to go to work down low now for the Mooseheads in the corner as this puck is played back now for McKenzie. McKenzie guides it back down deep for LeBlanc, trying to center it out there for Blake, and Farah will grab a hold of it, able to freeze it up as the net gets bumped off in behind him. So a whistle here with 7:13 left in this opening period. Still no score in this one.
Look at the handle play here at the nice little sneaky move. He's got some great hands and puts it over to Doyle for the shot. A little wide, but really looking forward to seeing what Carlos Handel can do with this team. Highly regarded. I know it was like 42nd overall that he was taken in the draft, but by all means, sounds like Cam Russell would have taken him much higher had he had a higher pick. So he was the guy that they had targeted, and they were able to get him, which was a home run for this team.
So that's a goal and an assist with Germany at the Helinka Gretzky Cup, and partnered up here on the back end with Eddie Doyle, a guy that we would expect, I would say, to see in a Moosehead sweater this year. Saw a bit of him last year, 6 games, and really piled up the points with Kensington last year. Kind of was playing on that really talented, deep Kensington team, top team in Atlantic Canada. But again, the complete game of Eddie Doyle's just kind of continuing to burgeon.
Exactly, and that's why it was so fitting for them to be able to send him back as a 16-year-old and play on that great team.
Shantz will make his way and fires one right on goal. That one stopped by Madgen. Isaiah Shantz, 18-year-old forward, from Hawksville, Ontario, free agent invite out of Ontario, veteran of the Elmira Sugar King program in the Greater Ontario Junior League.
Kind of sounds like a AA team in baseball, doesn't it? That's a great name.
It's a heck of a handle. So a draw here to Magid's left. Face-off controlled by the Wildcats, and that's just going to skip over the stick of Batchilder. So we'll settle it at neutral ice. Gets it right back down there from Simon Mullen. And as we said, Truro product, played with the Bearcats last year, but was dealt midway through the season to Summerside. Got up some points there with the Caps during playoff run in the Maritime Junior A League. Also had a stint with Canada East at the World Junior A Challenge. It was held in his hometown of Truro as well. Now in transition, come the Moose. Out with a corner, Almeida. He'll try to play it out front. That one off the wall. Doyle gets a little poke at it, and we will get our first power play here for the Mooseheads.
Almeida, I think that's one of those players that has been a pleasant surprise for me at camp. He's got great size. He moves well for a big man and really works hard. And he's gotten a lot done this camp in terms of, winning battles and showing the coaches what he can do. So it's been a nice little surprise and someone to keep an eye on for the future for this team for sure.
Real big body, 6'3", 186 pounds. And I know on a night where there probably wasn't a whole lot going right in number 2 the other evening, I know the fellas, they played hard offensively. Tough to get a lot of good chances. Coaching staff, management seem to be pretty impressed, though, with him playing a real simple kind of straight line game, real heavy and hard. And he's using that big frame. I think that's what he's got to do to try to earn a spot on this roster.
Exactly. Well, it's something you look down the roster for the past few years. There hasn't been a whole lot that start with that number 6 in front of their height, and that is desperately needed. So I would love to see him crack this squad, if not now, in the near future.
Aiden Bent will hand it off now to Cade Moser. Moser sending it back of the net here for Bent. Pass intended for Fontaine, gets away from him. Handa will settle it down out at neutral ice. Across now for Moser. Moser leaving it for Nasruddin. Nasruddin just working that one around. Fontaine will have to try to hustle after. Took a solid bump there from Big Mitch Wagner. Moser in possession now. Zips it across. Fontaine up top. Handle. It's a shot going to bad save by Xavier Farah. Fontaine will give chase after this one. And now a solid pass out to Nasruddin. That shot blocked. Right idea, though, as Gay will roll it down into Moose territory, and both sides will try to get some fresh legs out here with 4:47 left on the clock.
It's a pretty good-looking power play.
41 seconds remaining on it right now as Jordan Shaw in transition. He's got Walters driving. He'll slip it across for Kalen Blake here on the left side. Blake walking in, rips one right on, and that'll be smothered by Xavier Farah. And we'll have a face-off here in the offensive zone with exactly 30 seconds remaining on this Mooseheads power play.
Well, they really had something going early in that power play. I think the handle shot was coming right up here, and it was sitting right there for the taking, just not able to reach it was Aiden Benson. I like the puck movement for sure, and I think that's what Brad McKenzie's talking about on the bench right now.
McNabb will just knock that one to Ward. A goal off the face-off. Wildcats on it, though, will rim it around. McKenzie forced to track back after it down here in his own end. McKenzie shoveling it over for Jordan Shaw. Up ahead now to Blake, who's got some speed. Kalen Blake making his way in. He'll round the Moncton net. Sends this one back up top. McKenzie here at the line. Trolling the play as he plays it off for Blake. It's got a stick on it, but the Mooseheads maintain possession. And now Shaw, he'll rip one, and then puck off the body into the corner as deflects off to Bray. The Wildcats will ice the puck just as that penalty ticks away. So, the face-off down here in the offensive zone for the Moose as the officials make sure the Wildcats have the right guys out there.
Bit of a defensive battle so far. Shots 4-3 in favor of Moncton with 3:49 to go in the first period. Each team getting the chances on the power play, but not piling up the shots at the moment.
Justin Breton comes out here rather for the Mooseheads. 2022 ninth rounder, played Junior A last year in Quebec. going to win that one. LaPlante back to the line. A shot from George. That was blocked off the shin pads of Cormier. Cooper Cormier is going to send it out of play here. So another whistle and break in the action.
We talked about the cuts today, so they're down to 40. You'd expect another 17 to come, probably. Start with 23 men on the roster. Have an inkling that it'll be 14 forwards, 7D, 2 goalies to start the year. So that'll all happen pretty quickly because Labor Day weekend is coming upon us here, and the players all go home for that. So you'd expect this team to basically be made in the next week.
Simon Mullen will rim one around here for Moncton as it's sent out to center ice now by Morissette Richer. Suds back in his own end will defer now to George, and again played out to neutral ice. And Tucker Mackin will track that puck down, try to center one toward the slot, and Suds unable to get a scoring chance off of that. As in transition, up ice comes El Khoury. Back to the line, Batchelder. They let a shot going. Magic knocks that one aside with the stick. It's played up ahead now for Mackinnon. Trying to slip his way past Batchelder, who played him well. Simon Mullen will take it for a dash back toward the Mooseheads end. Kate Moser on it for Halifax, for Eddie Doyle. Shoveled up the left wing side. Mackinnon couldn't quite get a handle on that one. Jack Hayne, former captain of the Cape Breton West Islanders, playing it back to his own blue line. And the Wildcats will force it back in deep. Schlender heads after it. Down there for Hayne. He'll knock it back at the net. Well, centering feed out front. They score. And it's Easton Schlender just banking that one in. And the Moncton Wildcats are going to strike first here with 2:23 remaining in this first period.
Well, just a heads-up play behind the net. I don't know if he banked it in or if it was just banked off his skates and in. But he gets credit for it, and the Moose trailing 1-0 here.
Yeah, it was Mitchell Wagner just kind of sending it out front, and indeed just kind of banks in off of Schlender, the Halifax Mac, and makes it a 1-0 game. So the Wildcats on the board first. Mooseheads look for a response here, and there's a good pass from McKenzie ahead to Nasruddin. Nasruddin will slow up, absorbing some contact there as Schlender try to get a piece of him. A reverse check. Rolling puck down with the Mooseheads corner. Antoine Fontaine trying to fend off his check now. Fontaine will fish it free and come away with it. Off the boards ahead for Nasruddin, and that puck will be dumped in. As Xavier Farah comes out to knock it down. Roll it over for Dubray. Nasruddin back to Suds here at the line. Low shot. That one blocked. Make it. He will try to roll this one back to where the Mooseheads line. Suds quickly on it. Will hand it off now for Fontaine. Across center. Dumps it in. It's going to be tracked down now by Diamond. 14 left in the clock. Aiden Diamond will make his way up ice here in transition. Just shovels that one back of the goal. Netminder out to play it. Bouncing puck. Magic won't take any chances with it. He's going to cover it up. With 63 seconds to go in this first period, Easton Schlender has got his first of the preseason. That goal coming at 17:36, the only one so far. Looks like we got some assists to Mitchell Wagner and Jack Hayne as well in that goal.
Absolutely. Saw a familiar face show up at camp today, Gareth. Fan favorite Mathis Rousseau Roosters here, at least for the time being, before he heads off to NHL camp. Going to be a part of rookie camp this year, I believe, with the Nashville Predators.
That'll be great. Well deserved. Kalen Blake now trying to play one across Walters, who was busting toward the goal. Good energy on this line right now with LaPlante, Blake, and of course Danny Walters. He can drive a line. Got a whistle there at the Mooseheads blue line, so another little break in the action.
LaPlante has had himself a noticeable camp, hasn't he? Like, maybe not one of those guys he had pegged in there, but he's working his way to get himself into conversation, scoring goals, being physical, and just making himself noticeable when he's on the ice.
He's one of those guys, too. He's got a late birthday. He was drafted a couple years back, a 2022 draft pick. didn't have the first year in U18, I'm sure that he would have liked, but last year led his team in scoring. It's just one thrown toward the net, Breton. He got a piece of that one, but denied by Farah. Doyle with time ticking down. He's going to zip a pass across. McNabb fires a shot. That was off a body. McNabb will work it back now. Handel snaps one high. The puck will ricochet as Doyle throws it way wide of the net right there. Handel inching in after it. Moose pouring it on in the 9 seconds of this first period. Low shot there. That one knocked aside. Doyle will direct it down over the corner. McNabb gonna fend off his check as time ticks down. That will do it through 20 minutes of play. The Mooseheads will trail the Moncton Wildcats here at 1-0 after the first period.
Okay, solid end of that period, though, for the Mooseheads. Take that positive and go into the room with it and see what they can come back out with in the second. But shots 5-4 in favor of Moncton. Not a lot of offense either way right now. And the goal that counts is one that goes off the skates of a Wildcat. So it's a tight battle, and we'll see if the Herd could come back out and tie it up. They fell behind the other night and came back to win. So
Easton Schlender with that lone goal in that first period came at 17:36. His first of the preseason. Mitchell Wagner and Jack Kane had the helpers on that one. We'll take a little break here. We'll be back with the call of the second period. It's coming up in a bit. You are watching the Mooseheads training camp presented by Good Life Fitness right here on the official YouTube channel of the Halifax Mooseheads. defensive affair during that opening frame.
Yeah, absolutely. Shots just 5-4 in favor of the Moncton Wildcats to get one goal. There, the scoreboard changing. It is 1-0 for those Moncton Wildcats on a Easton Schlender goal.
So we are back underway. Mathis LeBlanc, he'll snap a shot. And LeBlanc, he's got goals here in back-to-back games. Third straight game for Mathis LeBlanc. Back out here with Cade Moser and Justin Breton. That trio starting the first period. LeBlanc slowing up, trying to open up a lane. Breton just knocking that one over just out of the reach of Cade Moser. Moser will play it back of the net now. And he's going to get it right back. Trying to work it down there for LeBlanc, but wasn't able to get that pass down there as the wall was sealed. McKenzie now being pressed by Cormier. McKenzie able to play it off for Handel. Carlos Handel to avoid some contact. A little bit of chaos over there at that Moncton bench. And we will get a whistle and break in the action with 54 seconds having ticked down in this second period.
We talked about how good this Moncton Wildcats team is going to be. Think of some of those returning players on this team, along with the added additions of Dylan McKinnon and Marcus Vidicek. You've got Johan Loshing, another fantastic 20-year-old player. Him and Vidicek are going to be dynamic together. You had Julius Sumpf, who was a revelation last year in terms of goal scoring. Etienne Morin, the Calgary Flames draft pick. Caleb Desnoyers going into his second season. He's a superstar in the making. Vince Collard, so many more. It's going to be a powerhouse squad.
Gabe Smith, big body
big
there
Gabe.
too. He's a lot to handle. Kid that just keeps getting bigger every season. And heard his name called at the NHL draft down in Vegas a few months back as Aiden Bent now. Good hard pass there as he was looking to spot Alec Nasruddin. Well, Corey comes away with that one for the Wildcats, so he'll bump it off the boards. McKenzie on it here for the Herd, trying to leave it back there in the corner. That was poked at, though. Corey getting a stick on it. Mooseheads will come away with possession, though. Fontaine dishes off, and a quick little chip over there for Bent, too hot to handle as Nasruddin was trying to load him up. And Fletcher letting that one go for his former Valley Wildcats teammate. There's Bent letting a shot rip. When knocked up and out of play with 18-18 left. Aiden Bent and Ryan Fletcher, free agent invites once again here at the Mooseheads training camp.
A couple of Valley guys will be playing under the tutelage of Brandon Benedict again this season, I believe, in Valley with the Cats. And he's got a great thing going on with that program right now. See Antoine Fontaine on that rush as well with the puck. Coach is kind of marveling over the speed of his feet this camp. He's come into camp much better shape than he did last camp. Trimmed down, he looks faster and has been looking good for the Mooseheads.
Up ice now comes Mitch Wagner, trying to direct one toward the net. Wagner, as we said, he's a big boy out there, 6'5", 200 plus. Split time last year with Mirror Machine West Kent in the Maritime Junior A League.
Keep an eye on Jordan Shaw. He got banged up in the corner, had to limp off the ice a little bit and being attended to by Melanie Landry on the bench now.
Late penalty coming up here to the Mooseheads. Farah making his way to the bench. Moose do get a touch on it though. And Moncton Wildcats will get a power play here with 17:43 left in the second period. This one's going to be a high sticking call. And Gavin Sudds will make another trip here to the Mooseheads penalty box.
That's his second penalty of the game this evening. Moose will have to kill one off here early in the second period.
Talking about Antoine Fontaine earlier, and he was a guy that I was talking to him like last year. He did admit at times, just kind of coming in, there was so much that he had to learn about conditioning. And looking to a guy like Jake Furlong last year, who was just always in the gym, very, I think, eye-opening to see exactly what it takes to kind of play at a high level in the queue and to try to reach that next level as well. So, again, the Mooseheads captain last year, certainly a good guy to look up to.
Absolutely. Always in the gym, always eating healthy. It doesn't come easy even for those who are the most talented. So it's a grind, and you got to work at it.
The pressure down here as Makinen tries to go to work on the PK. That'll lead up a little bit of time. Nope. A little forward pairing with Patrick McNabb. Anthony Gay will try to slip a pass up ahead. That was knocked off the stick of Easton Schlender. And now the other way comes Makinen. Thrown toward the net there by Makinen. And Schlender with the only goal so far in this game. That goal coming in 17:36. Hyman on it now. We'll flip one down toward the netminder Madgett. He's going to hang on to that one.
Madgett in the mix of a lot of young goalies here at camp for the Mooseheads. Olivier St. Ange is coming in later in this period, about 6.5 minutes from now. Another goalie with great size, moves well, and has performed nicely at camp, and probably going to play for his hometown Edmundston Blizzard. Played for the Fredericton Caps, the U18 this past season. George Fody had a great outing the other night as well. And Nick Circa, another player to keep an eye on. We haven't seen him in game action, but still around camp right now.
That'll get knocked off in behind Sam Madgett right there. So a whistle on the play. 16:18 left in this second. Again, there was that goal late in the first period. Came at 17:36. Easton Schlender for Mitchell Wagner and Jack Kane. So that's got Moncton on top. 1-0 shots right now. 7-5 in favor of the Moose. And still 35 seconds left on that penalty. The Halifax's Gavin Sutz, a high sticking call. Opportunity to clear it out right there. Mullen will keep it alive. El Khoury looking in front, but bad save by Madgett. Little scramble now. The clock. Madgett able to cover it up, but he had a little bit of traffic down there around the net. Jack Kane, pardon me, pretty relentless down around the net. And those guys have seen a bit of each other during that playoff series last year between the Halifax Max and the Cape Breton West Islanders.
Yeah, and nice read by Madgett on that one as well, to get over and make the stop and clear it out of harm's way.
Simon Mullen at the line. He's going to zip that one across for Batchelder. Carlos Handel able to clear it out now for the Mooseheads. And down to 8 seconds left on this Halifax penalty.
Batchelder, one of those players that they take their first pick, third or second round pick, but one that they felt was probably ranked much higher.
Mullen will lob one toward the net, but Sam Madgett down. He will track it the whole way. He's going to make the save and hang on as Jack Kane was looking for a rebound in front, none forthcoming.
Yeah, and not only Batchelder, but also the talk is that El Khoury, we just saw in that play, two of those players a lot of teams had ranked much higher, and the Moncton Wildcats may have got a couple of steals with those two guys.
Dominic Nikash as well. He's been pretty impressive so far. 44th player taken in that last draft. Comes out of that St. Eustache program. It's produced the likes of Mathis Rousseau and Lou Levesque for the Moose. And we got a penalty coming up here, an interference call. And so a power play coming up right now.
You know, a good goalie who came out of St. Eustache. That's not Mathis Rousseau. Zach Foucali.
There we go. Absolutely. So it's going to be Liam Duquette off to the box right now. And the Moose with another crack here on the power play. Mooseheads 0 for 5 coming into this evening's game on the man advantage. Right now 0 for 1 here this evening. So still looking for their first preseason power play marker. Carlos Handel, he'll lob one right on. Loose puck in front. They can't finish right there.
Well, Bent was all over it, thought he had one, but just tied up enough that he couldn't get the clean whack at it. But really nice job by Handel to put it on goal. Bent was right there for it, but boy, would he love to get one right now at this point in camp.
Bent, another guy with some experience last year with the Mooseheads. He had a great training camp last year, ended up getting into 7 games. And went back to U18 for another year. Once again led that Valley Wildcats U18 team in scoring. Second straight season. Antoine Fontaine will send it down to him. And Bent returning the favor to Handel now center point. He'll dish off. Kate Mosier going to rip one on. That was blocked. And it's Aiden Bent in possession. He'll hand it off here for Fontaine, up top to Handel. Handel through traffic in front. That one doesn't find its way through, but Fontaine will find the loose puck. Tries to rim it around hard and a little too much on it. Moser unable to get there in time. Handel back in possession. Up that left wing side. Nazardine, he's across the line. He'll look to leave it here for Fontaine. Fontaine was pressed there. Some aggressive play from Isaiah Shantz. And will force the turnover and the clear, but quickly up by Spontaine, punching it in. Aiden Bent was trying to hustle to the bench as Walters was coming out. And got an offside call on that entry.
Yeah, offside just about halfway through the power play. 1:02 remaining on the PP for the Mooseheads. Get back to work here with Shaw. Good to see him back out there again after looking like he was in some trouble getting to the bench a few minutes ago.
Danny Walters with the face-off win. Dominic McKenzie will hand this one off for Jordan Shaw. Shaw is looking for McNabb right there. It doesn't connect, and that's an icy call on the Mooseheads. So defensive zone face-off coming up here in the power play for the Herd with 14:21 left in the second period. 52 seconds remaining on their man advantage. A draw here to Magid's left.
So some family ties at Moncton Wildcats camp this summer. He's not in the lineup tonight, but the younger brother of Marcus Vidicek. They invited him as a free agent. Jordan Vidicek, a defenseman, got into game action earlier this week.
A couple of tough ones there for the Moncton Wildcats against Hackney Bathurst team. I think they had a few more vets in the lineup. 7-0 loss on Tuesday night. Bit of a closer game there on Wednesday. 5-2 loss. Wildcats actually outshot the Titan in that one. Walters, he was poked at. Loose puck out at neutral ice. McKenzie, get the legs moving right here as he drives it in, trying to center it out front. The battle there at the side of the net. This Walters was looking for it. Cleared around by the Wildcats and really close to doing it here on this power play. Magid will come out to cut it off.
Looks like McNabb will be heading to the bench here.
A holding penalty to Patrick McNabb. Well, that indeed will do it on the power play. 13:39 left in this middle frame. So we'll have 4-on-4 hockey for the next 10 seconds, and the Moncton Wildcats will be on a power play. We're looking at Andrew Lord on the bench for the Moose.
I can tell you, his practices are full tilt.
Did hear that a few times yesterday. We took in one of Andrew Lord's practices, and that would be a very good way of describing it. Up-tempo, to say the least. The guys got a shot, they score. Justin Breton busting in, and he's going to even this one up at 1.
A guy that wants to make this roster is showing you how it's done, because he's had an excellent week here for the Halifax Mooseheads and gets on the board with the goal here.
One of those guys that's certainly been working in Andrew Lord's practice this week.
Exactly, and you never know what player might click with the head coaching system. Look at the play here. He just all by himself drives hard and gets rewarded.
Pass from Gavin Sutch on that one. And great little rush there from Justin Breton. Again, a guy that's exactly known for the offense. Very defensive-minded forward. Great on face-off, 70% coming into today's game. A little offense touch here on display, and a couple of helpers, as you mentioned, on Wednesday night as well. So Justin Breton continuing to make a strong case for those final roster spots. As El Khoury is going to slow up along the half wall, getting pressed over there. Suds in a battle down to the corner with Charles Olivier Jaguar. El Khoury back to Jack Kane. El Khoury once again, he'll walk in, rips one right on, steered aside. Jaguar on it. We'll hand it off now for El Khoury. El Khoury looking in front. It's going to be a bouncy puck that Hain will look to keep alive here for the Moncton Wildcats. Shoveled off now for Mullen. He'll let it go. Some traffic in front. Big loose puck. El Khoury snaps one. He scores. El Khoury walking in. He'll pick his spot. And he's going to get that one past Magid. And that will restore the Moncton Wildcats lead as they strike on the power play.
Yeah, they get that one with 43 seconds to go. Just nobody on El Khoury. He's able to walk in and has all day to make that shot and pick his spot on Magid. A little bit of bad luck as well as it goes off a body and deflects over Magid.
Nico El Khoury, again, one of those guys you mentioned. Wildcats pretty excited to get him, 39th overall. Came out of that same program that produced the Denoyer brothers. Of course, Caleb Denoyer, first overall pick in the 2023 draft, also a product of that St. Hyacinthe program in Quebec. Tucker Makinen just knock one wide of the goal, loose down here. Diamond will To gather it up for Moncton up that left wing side. Robert unable to clear it out past Makinen. There's some rough stuff from Olmedo. He's got a big chunk of Robert right there.
We sure did, and I think everybody looked to see if that arm would go up on the referee, but it stayed by his side.
A little centering feed out front, and we're not going to connect for the Mooseheads, but they keep right with it. Olmedo will spin, puts one right on it. Xavier Farah with a piece of that with 11:30 left here in the second period. Mooseheads trailing right now 2-1. Just looking to even it up though is Alec Nasruddin. He'll send it back to Fletcher. Bouncing puck. He'll keep it alive at the line. Sends that one down behind the net. And that will be thwarted back there by Morissette Richer. Wildcats look to transition up ice, and Fletcher gets physical as he's going to stand up Duquette. And those two may be familiar with one another as the Moose on the attack. A shot there for Bent, and that one get knocked up and over as the Valley Wildcats right now all over the ice on both sides.
Yeah, that's a nice showing for the two boys there. As Ryan Fletcher with the play in the neutral zone.
On his Wildcat teammate,
exactly.
Liam Duquette.
Yeah, and Aiden Bent again coming close, but so far can't buy one tonight on a 2-1-0 with Antoine Fontaine on that rush.
So Fontaine will take that face off and win it. Back to Fletcher here at the line now, looking for Bent. It'll skip over his stick. Fontaine back after it off the back of that Moncton goal. And now Cormier trying to make his way up ice, but he got pressed there by Fontaine. It's Dominic McKenzie. He's trying to fend off Shantz. Upped out to neutral ice. Gay will repossess it here for Moncton. He'll flip it rink wide. Nekash on it now. He's going to drop it off now for Shantz. Shantz will take a bump. Fontaine. He's knocked along the half wall. And Shantz trying to slip away there from Fletcher. Broken plays here for both sides as Bent's roughed up out at neutral ice. Bent can't find a handle on that one, and so he's scooped up by Gay, just lobs one on. And it's an easy save right there for Magid, who will hang on to it right at the midway point of his second period. 10:01 left, perfect time for a goaltending change.
And here comes Olivier St. Ange after a pretty nice outing for Sam Magid yet again. 10 saves on, I guess that's 11 saves on 13 shots as they changed the shot clock on us at the time. And I think Sam's had a good week himself, and excited to see what St. Ange can do.
Wasn't sure if we'd see the Porters Lake boy Will Cole, who's backing up Xavier Farah here tonight. He saw a bit of action a couple games ago against the Acadie Bathurst Titan. It was a tough one, as we said. That was a tough outing for the Moncton Wildcats, certainly.
Yeah, Will Cole, Porters Lake, like you said, plays Cole Harbour Wolfpack. One of 3 goaltenders picked by Moncton in the past draft. He was in the 6th round, 105th overall. Get a look at young Sam Magid going into his 17-year-old season. Good chance you'll see him wearing a Moose uniform at some point this season when injuries occur. You know, Mathis Rousseau, that's kind of, it's a big trade chip, right? Is he stay the whole year, or is he going to be, someone who's moved to a contender such as potentially the Moncton Wildcats? You think maybe that's one of those teams that, could be looking. A lot of those goaltender spots are already locked up on the contenders, so it's hard to say where they'll go, what they'll decide to do. I know in the past there's been times where 20-year-olds have been hung on to, but it's a pretty big asset. They could potentially move even a guy like Brady Schultz, right? They love to see him here all year as well and spend his entire career as a Moosehead, but it's also someone that maybe could be moved for future assets by the Mooseheads. So we'll see what happens this season.
Brady Schultz right now flirting with the all-time points record for defensemen in this Mooseheads franchise.
Yeah, absolutely. Climbing there closer and closer last year. Of course, Connor at Appelchauser with 150 holds that record.
Danny Walters getting one toward the front of the net, and a big rebound just kind of popping out there. That one knocked wide. His shot took a whack at it. El Khoury will take it back up ice here. He's just going to send this one in deep. Gavin Suds was looking to play that up the left wing. Turned over, though. Quickly snapped on by Wagner. Wagner getting physical with Shaw as the players collide back in the Mooseheads end. It's Simon Mullen on it, back inside the Moncton blue line. He'll shovel it off the wall and out. Evan Suds. That'll be turned over. A shot ripped on. Suds there to block it. LaPlante will take a knock at it, sends it out to neutralize. It's going to skip over the stick of Justin Breton, who's the Mooseheads' lone goal so far in this one. Halifax trailing 2-1, and Diamond just avoiding some contact there from LaPlante.
Yeah, that O'Regan's banner just took a beating from Miles LaPlante.
LaPlante, he has been physical so far in campus. Up ice, slender, just able to slip past Eddie Doyle as he forces that one in deep. Handle gathered up now for the Mooseheads. Oh, sidestep, some pressure. It's Patrick McNabb in transition now for Halifax. That's his pocket pick as he enters that Moncton blue line. Diamond will flip it out to center ice. And Elliot Robert on it now. A lot with Chicoutimi over the last couple of years. 55 games over the last 2 seasons for him. Spent some time last year with Miramichi as well. He's about a point per game player. 19 points in 20 games last year in the Maritime Junior A League for Elliot Robert. And Lindsay will knock it down with a corner. McKenzie finds it, slips a pass over for Doyle, and the Moose will try to break out. Has not quite connected with McNabb, and there's an awkward collision with Lindsay out of neutral ice, and we got a penalty coming up here. Looks like that is going to be a knee call, I think was indicated there, and Liam Duquette.
Yeah, looks like that's the call, and the Moose will go to the power play here. Had a really good opening 10 minutes of that period. I thought the pace was really strong for the Herd. They were on top of things, but last couple of minutes here, it's kind of fallen off the rails a little bit, slowed down and a little sloppy, but here's their chance to regain some momentum.
Next one, Fontaine for Alec Nasruddin. Puck freed up for Mullen. He will launch it out. Maj coming out to play it. Just sends it out to neutralize. Wildcats will dump it right back in. 25 seconds already off the clock. Ahead now for Fontaine. Fontaine over to Kate Moser. Moser coming in. Slows up. Takes a look up top for Handel. Handel will lob one, and that one knocked aside. Alec Nasruddin, the stick there going flying of Mullen as Shaden Bent knocks it out of his hands. He'll sometimes get you for that one. Bent is going to dish it off now to Moser. Kate Moser. Top here for Carlos Handel. Dished off to Fontaine, walking in, cheeky little pass in front, and Nasruddin can't finish right there. What an opportunity. And another chance now for Nasruddin. Bear it down. He's going to deny him, and the Wildcats will clear it away.
Nasruddin slams a stick on the ice in frustration. 2 golden opportunities right there, especially that first one. He could have put it home, had his pick and spot, but just couldn't bury it.
Patrick McNabb has got the blue line now. He's going to slow up. He'll direct it down with the corner. Kalen Blake spinning off of his check as he plays it back to McKenzie. Back to Blake. Kalen Blake is going to get tangled up there with Diamond. He went down. Sticks looking to dig it free, and Walters comes away with it for McKenzie. Back to Walters, walking in a shot. Rips one right on. Will be snatched. Farah makes the save and hangs on.
Yeah, Alec Nasruddin's gonna want that one back. Such a good opportunity to tie this game at 2 on the power play. Look at the goalie out of position. Just can't beat him.
Farah sliding left to right there, but does put that glove up. Gets a little piece of it. Kalen Blake for Walters. Walters jabbed at there, knocked free off of his stick by Nikash, and now it's Jaguar coming in down the left wing, looking cross ice for Gay. He'll play it back of the goal. The 5-a-side hockey right now with 5:17 left. Out here to Nakash. She'll let a shot go that's sent wide of the net. Anthony Gay there to gather it up. Rink wide. Nakash poked off of his stick. And an opportunity now for Blake. Busting in alone. Pulls to the back and he scores! Kalen Blake with his first of the preseason, and it's a pretty one.
That is Kalen Blake on display right there, ladies and gentlemen. That's what he is known for, what the Mooseheads picked him for. He's got those silky mitts and a little bit of speed to boot, and he's able to hold off the defender and bury it on the backhand. Just a beautiful goal.
Great poise, great patience right there, and Blake pucks it home, and we are all knotted up at 2 with 4:57 remaining in this middle period.
It's a sold-out crowd at the RBC Center tonight on a Friday night in August. Moose Country's ready for some hockey.
Standing room only, Scotties. Puck off the outside of the net. Play's going to be blown dead right now. We got a high sticking penalty coming up here. So with 4:48 remaining in this second period, Mooseheads with another chance on the power play and an opportunity to try to take their first lead in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've had an excellent period so far. They've got 11 shots on goal compared to 9 for Moncton. It's been a much better period. Whatever Andrew Lord and Brad McKenzie spoke about in the room, they've certainly turned things around here.
So Danny Walters, I think he was going to come in there to take that. McNabb now will replace him. So McNabb lining up against Schlender. It's won by McNabb. Now Blake. He was in a little battle there with Schlender. His puck launched out of play. So another face-off coming up down here in the Moncton end.
Nice catch by equipment manager Mason on the bench there as he snags it with towel in hand.
Mason Medeiros, great hands on the
Winnipeg guy.
bench.
Big Jets fan.
Winnipeg guy, absolutely. The cold in this rink, it does not bother him. He's used to such climbs. Cleared out by the Wildcats. He stopped off back of the net. Blake back to gather it up now for the Mooseheads, trying to fend off the check. If I say a shan't, so hand off now for Dominic McKenzie. McKenzie up ahead there for McNabb. It's going to be poked down in the Moncton end, rimmed around hard. Walters will halt it. He'll move it back to McKenzie. Fished off. Blake walking in, lets a shot go, and that one off a stick up and out of play.
Kalen Blake looking for more right there. He's got the taste for one and was hoping to put the Mooseheads ahead for the first time in this game as they continue this power play, tied 2-2 with just 4:05 to go in the second period.
Well, again, he's a guy that the Moose are pretty happy to get him where they got him. 34th overall. There that they had pegged in the first round. This one will come out to neutralize. Handel taking it back down into the Mooseheads end. Slow up back of the net. 1:02 left of the power play. Handel across the line with it, trying to leave it there for Fontaine, but the whistle dead on the entry, an offside call here in the Moose.
Yeah, Handel taking that one himself, play offside, but you can see the signs of a future power play quarterback in his game, can't you, Gareth?
Well, no doubt about it. Again, big, smooth skating, right shot defenseman. He's got the vision. We've seen that. There's a little bit of offensive flair as well that's on display at various levels. So obviously a guy I think a lot of fans will be very excited about.
Yeah, and I think you put him with, you've got Owen Phillips, you've got Brady Schultz. Those are three very smooth skating defensemen with some offensive flair. It'll be fun to have.
Jack Hain making his way, and he'll try to shake Handel, pardon me. And it's going to be played out now. Quick pass there as that one was sent out to Gay. Let a shot go. Played out to neutralize now. Nazardine, he'll chip it off for Fontaine. Fontaine trying to hammer that one in. It all was sealed though, and Jaguar is back after down in the Mooseheads end. He's got Eddie Doyle pressing. Tries to play it out front. Siage got a little piece of that. He'll stop it there for Fontaine, and down to 5 seconds left on this Halifax power play. On the Moncton end now. Bent looking for it. Wildcats, though, they'll clear it out. Eddie Doyle on it at center. Taking his PEI boy, handing it off to Cade Moser, and he'll flip it in. Got it up back there by Mullen. Good long pass up ahead to Springer Robert. Slipping one toward the net. That one stopped by St. Ange, who doesn't bite. Mullen will lob one on. Directed toward the corner. McGarry trying to get a pass out front there. Quick shot fired on by Gay, and that's denied by St. Ange.
Great sequence by the goaltender there as he sticks with Robert all the way on that initial play and denies him. And what a feed, though. Threading the needle.
As we said, he piled up some points last year with the Bearcats, was dealt to Summerside in the Maritime Junior A League, and certainly very productive during the Capitals playoff run last year. There's a shot that's sent wide of the goal. It's LaPlante after it. Now ticking down here in the second period. LaPlante, it was in the first two preseason games, playing it off there to Makinen. That one swept in by Fletcher. With a physicality now down in the Moncton end of the rink. McKenzie keeping it on side a couple of times. And he's going to draw one right there as he gets hauled down. A tripping penalty coming up here to the Moncton Wildcats and the Moose. An opportunity on the power play. It's going to be Samuel Deschamps making his way up to the penalty box.
Good work by Dom McKenzie there. That second effort to keep it in and draws the penalty, and it's been a bit of a parade at the penalty box this period.
A lot of whistles, a lot of stoppages.
They have added a couple of assists to that Justin Breton goal, by the way. Suds and George getting the helpers.
Moser will play it across now to Fontaine. Up top, Handel lets a shot go. Hammered on. Moser. Slowing things down over here. He'll angle it up top to Handel. Back to Moser on the left side. Moser fires one. That was blocked, and it's going to be forced to neutralize. So Handel will retreat after it. Jack Kane forcing him back down into his own end. Handel's going to have to be careful there, but he does manage to avoid chance as it's played up ahead for Fontaine. Thrown toward the net and a bit of a dribbler there. That one might have had Farah a little confused. Just bounces past the post. Back here for Handel at the left point. Handel handing it off to Moser. Moser takes a look. He'll let one fly. This puck picked up down here. It's Bent. A little support from Nasruddin. Bent still on it. Just to fend it off, play it off for Moser. Back to the point now for Handel. Handel faking the shot for Fontaine on the right side. He'll fire one up. Blocker save, rebound, and there's Bent. That one off the outside of the post.
Aiden Bent, I tell you, he is snake bitten tonight.
He's getting some looks, getting some chances right now. Handel ahead now for Fontaine. Fontaine. He's got Hackett all over him. He's going to move it. 20 seconds remaining. Dished off. A shot. That one ripped toward the goal. And a little scramble at the side of the net. McNabb will get a whack. Down to 14.4 seconds remaining. All locked up at 2.
Yeah, and shots are all locked up at 17s as well. So, now 18 for the Mooseheads. So, been a pretty good power play here after not much doing on that last one. They've got things together, and again, maybe going to carry some momentum into this third period in a tie game.
Chance right now for Danny Walters, Kalen Blake, and Jordan Shaw to try to go to work along with McNabb and Dominic McKenzie on the back end. That puck's going to get away from Blake, and that is just about going to do it as the Wildcats clear it out. So we'll have a 2-2 hockey game heading into the final period of play. Another tight one, Scotty.
Absolutely. Could be down to the wire again. It was Patrick McNabb who helped the Mooseheads get that win with a goal early in the third period and a 3-2 victory on Wednesday night. See if this will turn out the same. We know the folks in Corner Brook, Newfoundland are pretty happy after watching that Kalen Blake goal at the 15:03 mark of the second.
There's the one goal back in the first. That was from Easton Slender, his first of the preseason. Mitchell Wagner, Jack Kane with the helpers at 17:36, and then 3 here in the second. It started with Justin Breton, his first of the preseason. Gavin Suds, Jamison George with the assists, and what was a shorthanded goal, that one coming just as that Moncton penalty expired. There was a little brief stretch of 4-on-4, so Breton with a shorty at 6:34 the second, even it up at 1. Then Nico El Curry with his first of the preseason from Charles-Olivier Giguère and Simon Mullen at 7:38. That restored that lead for Moncton pretty quickly, just a minute 04 after Breton's goal. But in the later stages, Kalen Blake scoring a beauty. Pretty one, a breakaway, tucks one past Xavier Farah for his first of the preseason at 15:03, and that evens things up. So shots on goal right now, 19-17 for the Moose after our first couple of periods. We'll have the third period coming up in a little bit. We'll be back on the call for that one. You're watching the Mooseheads training camp presented by Good Life Fitness on the official YouTube channel of the Halifax Mooseheads. Welcome back to the Halifax Mooseheads training camp presented by Good Life Fitness right here on the Mooseheads official YouTube channel. Garrett McDonald, Scott McIntosh back with you here for the third period action. The Mooseheads and the Moncton Wildcats knotted up at 2 through 40 minutes of play. Easton Schlender with the only goal of that first period. His first of the preseason for Mitchell Wagner, and Jack Kane, that goal coming at 17:36. Justin Breton answering back for the Mooseheads at 6:34 of the second period. Gavin Sutton, Jamison George with the assist and that short-handed marker for the Moose. That even things up at 1. Nico El Curry answering back quickly for Moncton. Charles Olivier Jaguar, Simon Mullen for the helpers on that goal at 7:38. And then Kalen Blake giving the Mooseheads, rather tying it up for the Mooseheads, giving them their second goal of the game, second goal of the period at 15:03 up that middle frame. Daniel Walters, Dominic McKenzie with the assist, and roughed up down there in the corner. Carlos Handel, and that'll have everyone kind of taking a deep breath there, I guess, as he gets back up on his skates, Scotty.
Yeah, I think he just took a high stick to the face there and rattled him a little bit, but he's no worse for the wear.
And that is good news.
Very good news.
Thank you for getting my paper. I appreciate it.
Anytime.
So the Mooseheads will get an opportunity here on the power play as Cooper Cormier makes his way off to the penalty box for that high sticking penalty. The Moose will control off of this draw. Kalen Blake will zip it across. Shaw up top here for McKenzie. McKenzie to Blake. Blake walking in, lets a shot rip, and that one blocked there is Chance. He was in the lane, out front, a shot there from Shaw, a little scramble, loose puck. Walters will knock it down, try to knock it over there for Blake. Walters back on it now. Trying to move that for Blake. Work here from Daniel Walters as he guides it down to the corner. McNabb back to Blake here on the left side. Blake rounding the net. As Walters was engaged in front, he took a little shot and limps a bit. After that, Wildcats will force it back down to the Mooseheads end.
Mooseheads 0 for 5 on the power play going into this period. It'd be nice to get one here on their 6th chance.
No power play goals here in the preseason for the Mooseheads, who weren't able to score in Member 2 on Tuesday night. Couldn't find Twine in the man advantage here against Cape Breton on Wednesday. Kalen Blake down below the goal line. That one stripped away from him by Dubray. And the Wildcats can't clear it out past McKenzie. Good keep right there. Walters, little toe drag, rips it on, and he takes a big hit up high there. Wagner getting a piece of him up high. Again, Mitch Wagner, big boy, 2021 pick of the Charlottetown Islanders.
Yeah, you can see Danny taking numbers there as he skates off the ice, because he certainly got all of them.
Wagner at 3 years older than Daniel Walters. As we said, the Mooseheads' first round pick in the last Q draft, just at the 1. 11th overall, the Moose selecting the Halifax McDonald's forward. And he's a guy I think it's not going to take very long for him to be a fan favorite here in Moose Country.
No, that's for certain, and I think he's got all those elements that that fans love: the work ethic, the blue collar, the feistiness. He's going to be one to be remembered here in Moose Country.
And that puck will be cleared past Handel. He'll track it down back in the Mooseheads end. 2 minutes gone in the third period. 18 seconds now left in this power play. Moser sends it back to Handel. He'll around the Halifax net. Up to Moser now. Moser through neutral ice. Jaguar reaching in, get a stick on it. Moser able to force it in deep though, and Nazardine in possession now. He's going to leave it here for Fontaine. Antoine Fontaine back to Nazardine. Stick was lifted, sent over to Ward. A Moncton player who was just hopping on the bench, off the bench rather. That was Nico El Curry. A few fans were open for a penalty right there, but Wildcats were able to tag up as Breton will make his way in now. Throws that one in front, and Nazardine, boy, they score! Justin Breton has got another one of the Mooseheads. For the first time tonight, they lead. It's a 3-2 hockey game.
And that's all hard work, determination right there from Justin Breton. He's a dog and a bone tonight, and Matter of fact, he's been all week. So this guy is showing that he needs to be on this team at this point, and tip your hat to Justin Breton because he's doing everything he can.
Just able to squeeze that one, throws it on from that sharp angle, just squeezes through the pads, and Alec Nasruddin, he knew he was right there. He pointed that one out right away. So Mooseheads with the lead, and again, Breton making just a heck of a case right now. Another 2-point outing for him. We saw the 2 assists the other night, couple of goals right now. And not a guy known for the offense, but he's been piling up the numbers here in training camp so far.
Yeah, and if he's on this team, he's probably a fourth liner. That's exactly what you want from a fourth line player, is that hard work. Sometimes it pays off in terms of offense.
Marquette was looking for Morissette Richer right there, didn't connect. Mullen, he'll fake that one, dish it off to Batchelder. Jackson Batchelder. He'll swoop up high, back over to Mullen. Mullen lets a shot go rolling, puck toward the front of the net, and that one cleared out as it was gathered up and launched out by Breton.
Yeah, it's going to be a long night, I think, after this game for Cam Russell and the scouting staff down in the offices here at RBC Center, because there's some big decisions to make in terms of the next round of cuts, which we do expect tomorrow morning.
McKenzie after it down there in the corner. Tied up with Cooper Cormier. And reaching in, coming away with control is Walters. Ahead now for Blake. Blake able to slip that one through the skates of Dubreuil as he tried to make his way past him. Blake will knock it in deep. LaPlante's going to get in here on the forward check, trying to apply some pressure right now on Lindsay, but Lindsay will find that outlet pass, works it up ahead for Shantz. Shot fired on, and that'll be smothered by Olivier St. Ange, the 2023 eighth rounder for the Moose.
So that goal from Justin Breton came at 2:45. That is his 4th point in the last 2 games. Of course, 2 helpers in that win over the Cape Breton Eagles here on Wednesday. And 2 goals here this evening. It's been a stellar week for Mr. Breton.
No doubt about it. Again, one of those guys that we know battling for the final spots. Those kind of 12, 13 forward spots on this Mooseheads team, you would think. Again, a lot of spots obviously up for grabs as well. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I would say probably start the season with 23, 13 or 14 forwards perhaps, depending on the D-men that you take. Could be 7D, and then of course the 2 goalies will be Rousseau and Milner.
Not a ton of guarantees, I would say, right now. Again, the scouts, coaching staff, for everyone out here to leave it all on the ice this evening here in this 3rd period. This is Gay after it. Bumping down there with McNabb. A little centering feed. That one will come out up top there. Quick shot from Lindsay. That was blocked, and now it's Shaw back the other way. Shaw throws it toward the net. That went off the paddle of Xavier Farah.
You could almost see Andrew Lord getting excited on that bench with that blocked shot.
Cormier drives the net, and a little poke there from Jack Kane, and he's going to draw one right now.
Yeah, it'll be the Mooseheads' turn to kill off a penalty after having quite a few power plays there in the last portion of this game. So got to go to work and protect St. Ange, who's been very good in between the pipes so far since coming in for Sam Magid.
Cormier going hard to the net, and Jack Kane right there with him as well. The Mooseheads will have to kill one off right now. 14:43 remaining here in this 3rd period. Mooseheads on top 3-2. It's McKenzie clearing it out now for the Moose, and Minder Farah will settle it back there, leaving it now for Simon Mullen. Mullen up that left wing side for El Khoury. Corey trying to fend off Moser, dropped off to Mullen. Moser got in there, got a little stick on it, but the Wildcats maintained possession. It's zipped across here for Batchelder, who's going to look rink wide. Jaguar back toward the line. And that one's going to pop out offside. Wildcats touch it, so we will get a whistle here. An offside call to Moncton, a minute 22 left on their power play, 14:05 left in period number 3.
Mentioned earlier in the game that it's a bit of a break in between preseason games after tonight. It'll be 2 weeks from this evening when the Mooseheads face these Moncton Wildcats again on the road in New Brunswick. And just one more home preseason game here coming up on Friday, September 13th against the Cape Breton Eagles.
Road trip here for the Mooseheads to begin once the real thing starts.
Yeah, absolutely. A 5-game road trip to start. The home opener not until Friday, October 4th when they take on the Quebec Remparts. Then it's the Memorial Cup hosting Rimouski Oceanic later that weekend.
Will be cleared out here by Breton. That'll eat up some time on this man advantage for Moncton. Dean trying to get in here and apply a little bit of pressure. He's going to force Farah to flip that one over. Shantz will gather it up, and he's going to direct it back of the net now as Wildcats set up. Diamond will take it for a little skate. That went off the stick. Schlender is able to guide it down toward the corner. Eddie Doyle reaching in, gets a stick on that one. He'll clear it out. Xavier Farah gets the paddle on it, breaks it up back of the net. Chipped down to Ward. The netminder St. Ange by Schlender. And Mooseheads netminder will play that one. And got a high sticking penalty coming up right now as Easton Schlender a little nicked up down there.
Yeah, lots of high sticks. All of a sudden, the goal scorer, Schlender, from earlier in the game, had the game's opening goal. He looks to be okay as well, but it'll be...
Evan Suds back to the penalty box here, I believe. Suds in the box for the high stick.
That's his third trip to the box this evening.
Yeah. So big power play chance right now for the Moncton Wildcats. 16 seconds of 5-on-3 hockey. Still a little bit of time remaining on that Patrick McNabb penalty. And great to be back in the air here, back on the Mooseheads YouTube channel for another preseason game. And I think we know this evening we've got quite a reach. We've got international here tonight.
Yeah, I got to shout out Mike McDonald, who's doing well and watching us all the way from the mountains in Mexico. So, Mike, thanks for watching. I appreciate your support and hope you're enjoying the game.
Little connection to the Moosehead staff.
Just a
Mike
slight
McDonald.
connection. The brother of Mr. Ali McDonald, of course, assistant general manager here, longtime member of the scouting staff, and has helped so many young players with their Quebec Maritime Junior Hockey League careers throughout the years. So,
and while we're shouting out Moose supporters, it's always important to shout out a Wildcat supporter as well. We know our buddy Brent DeBourne in Moncton. He was pretty fired up for this one. We saw a couple of tweets from him earlier, so we hope he's following along as well.
Yeah, one of the best fans in the queue.
No doubt about it. Diamond fires a shot there toward the net. We get a little scramble down there. That first penalty is over. McNabb out of the box, back and then trying to play it up ahead, but that one just not in McNabb's reach. So a 5-on-4 power play right now for the Moncton Wildcats is will take their time. Anthony Gay, he's across the line. Gay will play it off the end boards. Cooper Cormier head after that one. The battle down there with Handel. McKenzie will try to freeze it up along the boards. Takes a couple of shots there from Cooper Cormier for his efforts, though. It played him physical, and the Moose unable to get this one out. Gay at the right point. He's going to knock that one back over. Handed it off there for Diamond. Gay will give it right back to Diamond. Dished off now to Cormier toward the front of the net. That went off the leg. Moose will clear it out. And this one's going to roll its way back down at the Wildcats territory with 47 seconds left on this Halifax penalty.
Done a pretty good job so far on this PK. Of course, it was a brief two-man advantage for Moncton.
And that one stripped away from El Curry, but Eddie Doyle is able to get it across the line. It was knocked down, but the Wildcats unable to play it right there, so that allows the Moose to again launch at the length of the ice. And making his way up ice, Simon Mullen for Jaguar. Also, Olivier Jaguar will slow down. Back to Batchelder, over to Mullen. Flips one across. Batchelder at the right point. Back over to Mullen there. That was a tricky one, but he does keep it onside. Simon Mullen will shovel this one down toward the corner. And that'll do it. Another successful penalty kill for the Mooseheads. Eddie Doyle. Play went around for LaPlante. LaPlante engaged down there. Kalen Blake, he's got it now for the Herd. Scored his first of the preseason back in that second period. He'll put one on net that Farah steers away. Blake now engaging with Simon Mullen, and Blake's going to come away with control, rips one. Puck will end up wide as Fletcher. He's going to take it down low, deep in the action. The Valley Wildcats' top scoring defenseman in the U18 League this year. For Blake, around in the net, takes this one in deep, tries to slip it out front for LaPlante, and a great opportunity point blank there for Mathis LaPlante.
Yeah, looking for his goal in the third consecutive game here this week, and he's been all around it.
Blake getting in on there, in on a forecheck down there as McKenzie will pitch in now as well. Wildcats do relieve a little bit of pressure. Some good work right there for the Mooseheads. That was some solid work in the offensive zone of the Wildcats on their heels for a little stretch.
Yeah, absolutely. Good way to bounce back after that great penalty kill and get a little offensive pressure of your own.
Antoine Fontaine out now with Cade Moser and Jordan Shaw up front. Eddie Doyle, Carlos Handel on the back end for the Moose. Face off here to Xavier Ferris left. 9:46 left in the third. Shots on goal 24-22 for the Mooseheads, who have a 3-2 lead in this game. Eddie Doyle will settle it down. Handing it off there for Jordan Shaw. A couple of teammates of the Kensington Wild last year. Just get it across the blue line only briefly, though, as it's knocked right back out, and Handel will play it off here for Eddie Doyle. Doyle will avoid some contact from Duquette. Duquette gonna run at him, and the helmet goes flying.
Get a look at that nice lettuce, though, right?
We have Duquette with quite a head of hair on him.
Some other games going around the league tonight, though, Gareth. Looks like the Acadie Bathurst Titan trying to pick up their third win of the week in the preseason. They're up 4-2 on Charlottetown Islanders right now. It's Rouyn-Noranda up 2-1 on Blainville after one period of play. Chicoutimi and Baie-Comeau all tied at 1 in the second period. Shawinigan up 2-1 on Drummondville at the start of the second period. And also see the Quebec Rempart taking it 3-1 to Rimouski right now in the second.
Well, thank you for the update, Scotty.
Hey,
Jordan Shaw in transition, coming down that right wing side as he was looking for Antoine Fontaine, who was busting toward the net in front. He's back now for Doyle here at the left point. Eddie Doyle, he'll put one on. Pad save there for Farah. And Handel with a brief keep there at the line. The Wildcats do get it out, though, in the second effort. Eddie Doyle will play off now for Fontaine over to Moser, and there's a bit of a late hit. Schlender laying the body on Fontaine out at neutral ice. And we're going to see a penalty called as a result of that late bump.
Yeah, absolutely. This will be the 7th power play of the game for the Mooseheads. 0 for 6. Moncton said they're 1 for 6 in the power play, so plenty in the penalty box here this evening in the preseason.
So Easton Schlender off of the penalty box. Mooseheads on the power play. 8:37 remaining here in this third period. Again, no power play goals tonight for the Moose. They are now 0 for 11 in the preseason thus far.
But there's been some good signs tonight. I think there's been some great puck movement, some great chances. Hasn't been that stagnant power play that, we kind of did get frustrated with a bit last season.
Absolutely, and obviously some guys getting some looks here in the power play. If they're to crack the team, likely you guys here tonight that are going to be seeing that power play time, but coaches wanting to see just what these guys have got here tonight is, again, they battle very much on for some of those last roster spots. As this one will be worked up top. McKenzie will take a shot, fires one right on, and that will be stopped and held on to by Xavier Farah.
7:57 left in this one. 3-2 Mooseheads, kind of a carbon copy of that last game right now. The Moose falling behind early and then scoring an early third period goal to take a 3-2 lead.
So Antoine Fontaine out with Aiden Bent and Alec Nasruddin. Handel on the back end along with Mosers. Handel try to lob one there. Fontaine's got it. Play it back of the net for Aiden Bent. Bent back to Fontaine. Up top now for Handel. Handle over for Moser. Tried to get a pass right back across to Fontaine, but a good stick there as Jack Hain was able to take away that lane.
See Handle back here on the power play. Like to watch this man skate with the puck and see what he could do. Great vision, as you mentioned earlier.
Sends it right over to Cade Moser, who gets the line. He'll dump it in. Dean gets physical down in the corner. So Mullen on that one. He's going to fire that one way up and out of play. So another whistle. We're down to 27 seconds left on this Mooseheads man advantage.
See the Moncton brass up in the corner tonight, watching from that crow's nest area. It's Gardner McDougall and Taylor McDougall and goaltending coach Antoine Samuel as well, amongst some others. So they have a great vantage point to see their young players out here this evening.
Big shake-up for the Moncton staff this year. It's a big year for that Wildcats organization. Cade Moser, he'll walk in, lets a shot go. Can't get that one through. That was blocked as Diamond was in the lane. Moser up here for Handel. Handel was looking to return the favor. That one doesn't quite connect, though. It's going to do it on the power play. So back to 5-on-5 hockey once again. Handel off the wall for Moser. 6:26 left in this third period. Mooseheads will force it in. Diamond gives chase after it. He's going to take a solid check down there. A little slow to get up after that bump from Alec Nazardine. And he's going to make his way off a little gingerly to that Moncton bench. Wildcats will launch that down to the Mooseheads end, so we'll get an ice. I think Diamond will get tended to on that Moncton bench over there.
Play slowing down just a little bit. This pace is slowed after, pretty high-octane second period, really, where the Mooseheads outshot the Moncton Wildcats 15-12. Now up 27-22 in shots in this game are the Mooseheads.
Fletcher trying to get his pass through. It was broken up, but he'll get it right back. Fletcher now. Fend off the check. Got to contend with Dubray, who was all over him. He got himself into 10 games last year. There's a solid check down in front of the Moncton benches. Noah Almeida throws that weight around. Up ahead here for McKinnon. Booker McKinnon slows things down, plays it back a shot. That one fired toward the goals. Bodies in front, and the Wildcats will come away with possession right now. Jack Hain will get knocked over. And there's Wagner firing one right on. He's going to go to the net. Almeida will give him a shove. And now McKenzie. He's going at Almeida. A glove from Wagner coming off right there.
Well, the fans are getting into it already too, with a little bit of chatter going on. So, yeah, it's getting a little testy here towards the end of the third period. Gareth, we mentioned the other night we were talking about the graduated overagers from last season and what they've been up to. Hadn't heard anything from Lou Felix Denis, a player who would become a fan favorite. We saw a little update today. The Reading Royals of the East Coast Hockey League have signed LFD to a contract. He'll be playing some pro hockey this year. They are the ECHL affiliate of the Philadelphia Flyers, and I think he'd make a great Broad Street bully.
Well, the compete certainly there for LFD. All the best to him. Great news today for sure. Face off one here by the Wildcats. Dubray threw it down to where that slot area. It's going to deflect toward the corner. Knocked around by Morissette Richer. Up top, Dubray now at the right point. Walking the line, throws one on. St. Ange with a pad save. Good battle right now down in this Mooseheads corner with 5 minutes remaining in period number 3. Puck frozen up, and now Duquette. He's getting a little chippy, and some punches being thrown. And LaPlante going at it now with Duquette. Things really getting chippy. He's been slender involved. Not this LaPlante. A great camp for him. As we said, goals in back-to-back games. Dropped the mitts a couple of times during those inter-squad games as well.
Absolutely, and he's looking at the clock too. He sees 4:58. He's got to make that one last ditch effort to make another impression. We know that he can do that. We know that he's got that tough customer business in him. But great to see him show that in front of the fans here and get a nice rousing ovation as well.
Yeah, looked like Liam Duquette. He was also looking to make some kind of an impression there for the Wildcats. Again, free agent invite. Teammate of Ryan Fletcher and Nathan Bent last year with that Valley U18 program. Also spent a little bit of time in the Maritime Junior A League with Summerside. Talked a lot about those changes. Again, with Doug Duell on the bench this year as an assistant coach with the Moncton Wildcats, and with Gardner McDougall looking on from up top. It's like Doug Duell running things down there, the Cape Breton native assistant coach and Gardner staff this year.
Well known in hockey circles around the Maritimes. Kind of a late announcement, just a few days before training camp actually started here in August.
Eddie Doyle is going to play it ahead here for Moser, out to McNabb. McNabb, he's got Breton driving, and Justin Breton all around it. Pass didn't get through though. The puck will come out to neutralize. Eddie Doyle for Moser. Moser's going to take a little shot there, sandwich between a couple of Wildcats at a neutralize. Patrick McNabb in a battle down to the corner, was tied up with Mullen. Gay with control here for the Wildcats down that left wing side. Couldn't get that pass through Eddie Doyle. A 2-on-1 developing there for the Wildcats, but Doyle back to thwart it. Simon Mullen down low. There's his shot that went off the outside of the post. Wildcats looking for one late, and we will get a break in the action down to 3:56 remaining.
Hey, you got to hand it to these two teams. It's a pretty good effort for a Friday night in August right now. They both want to come away a winner this evening and impress their coaches and their fellow players as well. Everybody's fighting for a spot here on both sides of the ice, and it's been an entertaining one to watch tonight here at the RBC Center.
Ryan Fletcher will pick up this loose puck. He's guide that one back down to where the Moncton end of the rink. Ryan Hackett, who can chase after to play it off the end boards. Blake quickly on it, and a big rebound popping out to McKenzie. Lets a shot go, another rebound, and a scramble down around the net. Dominic McKenzie, unable to score during his rookie season with the Mooseheads last year. A couple of looks right there, but can't convert.
Yeah, the puck was just bouncing around on him. I'm not sure how it stayed out because it seemed like the net was open, but just some bodies in the way. Hit the deadwood in front, like a bowling alley.
Frantic action down there. Farrar trying to keep up with it. All kinds of bodies down around his crease. So Walters will take this face-off here for the Mooseheads. Walters will win that one for Fletcher. It's going to be sent down low. Nice little play there from Walters. Knocked it over to Shaw. And Shaw's going to have it stripped away. It's Deschênes sending it up ahead. The attack now come the Wildcats. Blake getting it back for the Moose, though, and he'll just shovel it out to neutralize. Seventh glove down by Diamond. He'll hand it off for Mullen. Knocked up ahead, Jaguar between the legs, and got a glove pass right there. So a break in the action with 3:12 left in this third period. Goals here in this game. Moncton Wildcats have markers from Easton Schlender back in the first period, and a second period goal from Nico Elcuri. Justin Breton, Caleb Blake, and Justin Breton again with the goals here for the Moose.
Good night for Justin Breton.
No doubt about it. He has, again, we talked a lot about him. He's been fantastic here in camp. Antoine Fontaine. The puck get away from him, but he'll get it right back and he'll force it out to neutralize. Jack Hayne now plays it off the wall into Moose territory. George ahead for Aiden Bent. At center, Jack Hayne. Float one high and down into the Mooseheads end of the rink. Back to Schlender. Hand it off to Cormier. Cormier will fire a shot. He scores. Cooper Cormier A laser off of his stick as he picks his spot. What a rip right there.
Heck of a shot from Cooper Cormier as he goes top shelf over the shoulder of St. Ange.
And we're all tied up here at 3 with 2:22 left in this third period.
Look at the shot right there, up and under the bar, and folks, we might be headed to overtime. But I guess we're a long way away from that yet, aren't we?
Well, we'll see. 2:22 left. Cooper Cormier, 2 goals for Moncton last year, 2 assists as well in 22 games. He's another guy that was right around that point per game pace in the Maritime Junior A League. 29 games with Amherst, 10 goals, 27 points for him with the Ramblers last year.
In the jungle.
Back it in. Even chase after it down here. Twisted up with Batchelder. Batchelder will play him physical. Go that goal line. And now knocked down over the corner. Little centering feed out front there for Mackinnon. Quick shot in tight. Wildcats will get control back as Gay plays it up ahead for Cormier. Nifty move, a shot, a big save there by St. Ange. What a rush though from Cooper Cormier as he was dancing.
He saved his best for the final couple minutes of this game. That was a beautiful rush.
Great move on Eddie Doyle right there. Sandel will take his time. Minute 27 left. Again, a 3-3 score right now. Let it neutralize. Mackinnon, he'll dump it in. Get off the end boards by Farah. Jack Hain in control. He tries to get the engine going right there, but knocked away by Dominic McKenzie. Hackett up ahead. Schlender will bump it toward the middle of the ice for Hain. Schlender, he'll get it back. Rips one on. St. Ange squeezes the pads tight. Keeps that one out and holds on.
We'll get another look at that rush from Cooper Cormier because that was very, very nice. Look at this move. Around, in, back out again, and oh, so close.
Inside, outside. A little burst of speed there for Cooper Cormier. A minute 03 left in this third period. Diamond will play it down the wall. Diamond back on it, handing it off now for Hain. Fires one. Jack Hain roughed up. His handle get a good chunk of him. Diamond will direct it back down low. Hain and Handel continue to battle. Dominic McKenzie. Cross ice for Blake. Blake making his way and trying to open up a lane there for Walters, but he's unable to get that pass through. And now, in transition, the Wildcats. Schlender, he's got it. 17 seconds left. An offside call there right at the blue line.
Hey, shout out to our crew this evening, Gareth, that's been with us. Louis, Ben, and Neil doing a great job this evening, and really appreciate their efforts on these broadcasts and helping out the Mooseheads.
Louis, Ben Mendelson, Neil Gordon, some of the best in the business. There's no doubt about it. We were graced by greatness the other night. Alec Cook with us, exceptional as well.
Yeah, and Billy Idol stole him tonight.
Billy Idol or Billy Eilish? Antoine Fontaine battling down there. And that is going to do it. A little bit of extra time required here this evening. So 3-3 through regulation. We will pause briefly. You've been watching. You will continue to watch the Mooseheads training camp presented by Good Life Fitness right here on the official YouTube channel of the Halifax Mooseheads. We'll be back with OT in a moment. A little bit of 3-on-3 overtime. Mooseheads, Wildcats. Last preseason game for a couple of weeks. Mooseheads controlling off of this face-off. Handle going to take it down low. He's out here with Antoine Fontaine and Cade Moser. A couple of veterans for the Mooseheads. And Handel's going to take it for a rush. Driving the net, trying to dunk it home. Can't finish there, but what a rush from Moosehead's import pick.
Pretty good guy to have out there 3-on-3.
Absolutely, he can motor. Wildcats in control right now. Mullen trying to launch one up ahead, and that just kind of gets away from El Khoury. He had Antoine Fontaine pressing. Fontaine will strip it away from him, gets possession back for the Mooseheads. He's going to back off behind the Halifax goal. The Moose will get some fresh legs out here. Kalen Blake comes out. Handel's going to make his way off. Blake kind of overskating it right there. Dominic McKenzie replacing Carlos Handel.
Blake's the guy I wanted to see out there as well.
So Blake will take this for a little burst down that right wing side. Slows up. Pressed there by Cormier. A couple of terrific moves there late in that third period, including a goal that forced overtime. Nice shot. Jaguar. He's got it across the line here for Moncton. Cuts. He's going to dish that one off. Pressed was Diamond, and it's going to be worked loose. It's Galen Blake up ice. He's got McKenzie jumping up into the rush. Patrick McNabb also out here. McNabb will break that up out at neutralizes. Cormier tried to poke it past him. Patrick McNabb circling, creating a little bit of space. Cut past Cormier. Defers now to Galen Blake. These guys have been out here for a while. Blake backing off into his own end. Ahead here for McKenzie. McKenzie rounding the Moncton net. Swings out high, and he'll just take it back out to neutralize. Out here now, Danny Walters along with Justin Breton. Walters couldn't quite handle the pass, but he'll track it down in the offensive zone. Looks to spin off a check, tries to cut out front, and he's going to send that one just wide of the net as he tried to jam it home.
Good effort by Walters, who kind of lost that puck twice on the play and still comes up with it and makes a good play in front of the net to get us quality scoring chance, but the net just pops off its moorings there.
So face-off coming up here to Xavier Ferris right. Walters will take it. He's going to line up against Isaiah Schatz. Justin Breton stays out here with him. We got Eddie Doyle on the back end. 3 left shots on the ice right now for the Moose as it comes back here for Doyle. For Breton. Left for Walters. Walters, nifty move right there to try to create space, and they get a little twisted up with Schatz as that puck rolls in toward the Moncton netminder, and Farrell will hang on.
Kind of a chess match so far of an overtime. Backing back out of the attacking zone to decide what they want to do with the puck a few times there, just trying to kill some clock and figure out the best plan of attack.
So Handel's going to replace Eddie Doyle right now. Walters will head off as well. Nazardine coming out in place of him. Mullen will take it for a dash up ice. Pressed there by Handel. Keeps control through it toward the net. That one deflecting wide. 2:07 remaining in overtime. Mullen. He's going to twist and turn with it. He'll work it off there for Jack Hain as this one pops free. Jack Hain played 2 regular season games with the Wildcats last year. Had a pair of goals. Like Nazardine. Out for Jordan Shaw. Shaw is going to make his way up ice, and he's going to drive the net. Getting twisted up right there with Ferris. The net got knocked off, and oh boy, Carlos Handel at the line. What a effort right there to keep that play on side.
It looked like Jean-Claude Van Damme straddling that blue line.
Between the 18-wheelers. Yeah, he was stretching out for that one for sure. And nice little net drive there from Jordan Shaw. It's a little bump from Xavier Farah for his efforts as he took it hard to the net. Jordan Shaw with 12 goals, 36 points last year in 35 games for Kensington in that New Brunswick PEI U18 League. Ryan Hackett He's going to punch it across the line. Left here for Gay, but Gay had it stripped away by McKenzie for Blake. Coming in at 2-0. Blake, a shot, he scores! Galen Blake, he's going to end it in overtime, and the Mooseheads take it 4-3.
Hey, high fives all around.
Second of the game for Galen Blake is going to be the winner here tonight, and nice effort there from Dominic McKenzie to spring him. Galen Blake, not thinking pass right there at all. He knew what he wanted to do, and he did it.
Yeah, I think Dom McKenzie was just going to let him have the floor, and that he did. It scored it. Beautiful goal. So tell these kids it's the preseason. They're excited.
Couple of breakaways, couple of breakaway goals here tonight for Galen Blake. And again, Dominic McKenzie, after the beauty breakaway that he saw back in the second period, a few of those breakaway markers that he would have seen during those inter-squad games. Again, I think he had full confidence in Galen Blake in that one.
Absolutely. He put it in the right hands and finished it off in style here for the final preseason game of August. Final preseason game coming up for the Mooseheads on home ice on Friday, September 13th against the Cape Breton Eagles. And that home opener rolling around October 4th. Don't forget individual tickets going on sale Thursday, September 12th at 11 a.m. Ticketmaster.ca. Looking forward to seeing all of you at the rink at Scotiabank Center this coming season.
And again, we're back for one more preseason game. We got one more here from the RBC Center before the real thing begins.
That's right. Friday, September 13th. Against the Cape Breton Eagles. One more time against them to wrap it all up here on home ice before the real deal gets going.
Well, looking forward to that. 4-3 the final here tonight at the RBC Center. Galen Blake, the OT hero for their herd. We'll join you again in a couple of weeks' time. Looking forward to that next matchup, as we said, before the regular season kicks off. For Scott McIntosh, my name is Gareth McDonald. Good night from the RBC Center in Dartmouth.